Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all, I'm so excited to get straight into this video because today we are going to talk about books that I would love to read again for the first time. So I have a list of 10, and yes, I have limited myself to 10 books that I've loved so much or that had such a profound effect on me that I would love to be able to read them again and experience them again for the first time. So I'm going to jump straight in with no further ado. As soon as y'all like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I'm gonna get right down to it with my very first book that I would love to read again for the first time. Now, this isn't really the book, y'all. The book that I'm talking about is In a Holidays by Kristen Lauren. Here's my deal with that book. I have like an interesting relationship with Kristen Lauren, both Kristen and Lauren, and here's my deal. So my first Kristen Lauren book was In a Holidays, which I read in sort of a reading Christmas books vlog because it's a Christmas book. And it was all like, folks loved it. It was all the rage, so I read it, and I was kind of meh about it. It's it's like a Groundhog Day kind of thing, like dual timeline, where like the same day keeps happening over and over again. Like you're waiting for somebody to do something to fix the timeline, and multiple timelines kind of interact in the whole thing. And it just didn't do it for me. Like I just felt like it fell flat for me. I felt like there was a whole lot more that could have been done with the whole thing. And I don't know, I just got all uppity about it, and I felt like Kristen and Lauren, Christina Lauren are two separate people. And so I was like, well, maybe it's that, you know, they're two people and they write differently, and so their things don't go together. Even though they've written dozens of books and people love them, I was like, I'm the one that's going to figure out that they can't write together. I know. So anyway, I panned it. Didn't hate it, but didn't like it. Didn't love it. I didn't like it as much as I had planned to like it. And because of that, I didn't read any more Christina Lauren books. Well, then I was like, all right, everybody loves their stuff, her stuff. I don't know if it's just to refer to them as a they or a her or what, but everybody loves Christina Lauren stuff. So I'm going to read Love in Other Words. But y'all know it can't be easy with me. It's got to be drama. The sort of regular version of Love in Other Words that you see is this like orange cover, and I was like, I ain't reading no orange book because y'all know my issue with orange, go dogs. So I finally found this one. Look how cute this is. So I don't know if it's older or what it is, but it's very cute. So I got a hold to this, read it and loved it. This is about, it's a male and female main characters, and they meet when they're kids. And I think it's the girl, her family has maybe a cabin in the town where the boy lives. So they see each other during summers when she goes to the cabin or something. And she's a big reader and he's a reader. So they have this like reader's relationship, like they read books together and talk about books together. And something happens and then they don't see each other for a long time, then they see each other again, and it's just fantastic. And y'all know how much we love books about bookish people. They're very bookish people, and tragic things happen, and it's very sad and it's very sweet and it's very heartbreaking. And this made me wish that, one, I wish that I had liked In a Holidays more, and I kind of wish I could go back and reread In a Holidays, but I kind of don't really want to. So I don't know, I might. Y'all, I so like didn't love that book that I just gave it away. Like, I just don't even have it anymore. Like, I mean, I'm sure I will stick it here somewhere, but yeah, I don't even have it anymore. So it's my thoughts on that. But so that's that one. But now let's get into the good stuff. Project Hail Mary, y'all. I adore this book so much. It is, so I've read this book multiple times. I've listened to it on Audible multiple times. I have read it and listened to it like simultaneously. I've read it for a bit, listened to it for a bit. I've done all the things. I love this book so much. So our main character Grace, Holland Grace, is that his name? Grace is his name, ends up in outer space. I don't want to tell you too much because I don't want to tell you too much. But he has to save the world. And he ends up meeting an alien named Rocky. And y'all, if for nothing else, I wish I could go back to the first time that we meet Rocky, or the first time that we hear Rocky speak. Do yourselves a favor. And even if you hate Audible, even if you hate audiobooks, and you want to read this book, like listen to it, read it, do something. Even if you want to read Eyes on Pages, find an audio track of Rocky talking. Once you meet him, you will not be sorry. Y'all, it is the best. But I wish I could go back to the first time I hear Rocky speak, and the book kind of, it's not a mystery, but it unfolds. Like the story unfolds, you figure it out Grace figures it out as he's going along, and he takes you with him, and it is so, so good. And so today, I was teaching a lesson today, and I learned in that lesson the difference between a horror and a thriller. And here's how, now this was like a second language learner lesson, so this might be like a really simplified explanation, but the way it explained it was that a horror movie, or like a horror story, just looks to horrify you. It just wants to scare you. But the goal of a thriller is to thrill you, like excite you, like to keep you on the edge of your seat the whole time, like waiting to see, like super excited to see what happens next. And Project Hail Mary isn't a thriller, like it's not billed as a thriller, but it is thrilling. And there are times in here where something happens or Grace realizes something and you're like, wait, what? And it's very unnerving, because it's very unnerving. I'm just going to say that. Because of what he figured out, there are other things that are also happening that have to be seen too. And again, I don't want to say too much, but it is thrilling. And I would love to go through that again for the first time, not knowing what's going to happen. I've enjoyed every time I've read it, every time I've listened to it. I've enjoyed the whole thing. Now, I know it's being made into a movie or a miniseries or something. I won't watch it. I very seriously doubt I will watch it, because I just don't, because the voices are wrong and the way they say things are wrong, and I just like how it is in my head better. I like the voices in my head better. Y'all stop it. But anyway, I would love to experience Project Hail Mary again for the first time. And y'all, Butcher and Blackbird. I love Butcher and Blackbird so, so much, and I would love to love them for the first time again. So Butcher and Blackbird are serial killers, but don't hold it against them. Butcher is the butcher of Butcher, the butcher. I'm so excited I can't even speak. Let me take a drink. Hang on. And y'all, we're only 3 books into this thing. The Butcher is the butcher of Boston. And Blackbird, he calls her Blackbird. She's the orb weaver. And they are serial killers, but they're good serial killers. They only serial kill people who need serial killing. And they are admirers of each other's work. And they end up falling in together. And they start this competition where each year they're assigned a serial killer who actually needs serial killing. And they compete to find the serial killer and kill, like whichever, like the competition is to find the serial killer and kill that serial killer first, to be the first, like of the 2 of them, to be the first one to kill that like you can kill a serial killer second. To find the serial killer and be the one to kill him. Y'all, it is so good. It is crunchy. It is, so I read Butcher and Blackbird, then I read Butcher and Blackbird again so that I could read Leather and Lark, which is book 2. Then I read Butcher and Blackbird and Leather and Lark again so that I could read Scythe and Sparrow, which is book 3, which I vlogged that, but I have other things keep coming up, so y'all haven't seen that yet, but you will. this is far and away my favorite. It is the best. It is, and I thought about putting the Mind F series on this list as well, or instead of, because I feel like you don't want too many serial killers on your wish I could do it again list, because then you might end up on some kind of list where you don't want to be. But Butcher and Blackbird is crunchy. It's a bit graphic. I realized on my second read through that it's a bit graphic. I read it, I devoured it the first time. So then when I read it the second time, I was like, oh, that's a bit graphic. It's crunchy. It is, y'all, if you're squeamish at all, maybe check it has, what are the warning things? It has the warning, what's it called? The trigger warnings. So this is the collector's edition that I got. This has not been read. This is strictly for a face out. Look how pretty it is though. I know, it's like serial killer special. I love it. But yeah, check the trigger warnings, but it is crunchy, it is spicy. Y'all, the sex in this thing, oh my word. This has broken me, like it has broken my sex gauge. I've realized that when I read other like spicy books, I can't gauge them anymore because like I gauge everything against Butcher and Blackbird and I'm like, well, it's not serial killer sex. What? No, I know, but I would love, I mean, I've read this half a dozen times now, and I would love to read it again for the first time because y'all, the first time you go killing with them, there is nothing like it. So, Butcher and Blackbird. Now we're going to switch from that to a classic, The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby devastated me 40 years ago, and it still to this day will just, So, I mean, it's all the, all the normal reasons, but my most hated, despised literary character of all time is Daisy Buchanan. Y'all, I hate her. Like, I don't know that there's an actual human being on earth that I hate as much as I hate Daisy Buchanan. I seriously have to, like, I'm gonna have to edit this because like I'm a grown woman and I have a hard time talking about Daisy Buchanan without using like I call them my workout words. Like I'm not cussing, I'm using my workout words, but like I have a hard time not using my workout words when I talk about Daisy Buchanan. She is horrible. Y'all, Daisy Buchanan is the character who said to our beloved Jay Gatsby, "Rich girls don't marry poor boys, Jay Gatsby. Didn't you hear?" What? I know. So what happens to Gatsby is a direct result of decisions that he makes because of Daisy Buchanan. Yeah, I can't. I hate her so much. And y'all, that's good writing right there. Like to hate somebody so much that you literally can't talk about. So there are some sports teams that I can't talk about without using my workout words. And I know that is just like a sign of like poor character or something in me. I know, I get it, but get me talking about certain teams and you're going to hear the Jersey Girl bartender come out in me. I'm not going to talk about him here because I just don't want to do that much editing. Daisy Buchanan is like that for me. So I have a student that I've taught for, we're going on 3 years together now, I think. She's been through some different educational settings. She's been through private school, a couple different private schools, home setting, and now she's going into another private school. And I mean, she's not a bad girl. We just, have had some trouble finding where she fits. And she is the only student for whom I teach somebody else's curriculum. Like there are students that I tutor, but I bring my own stuff to tutor them with. Like I don't tutor them with material made by other teachers. And this student is the only one for whom like I will take the work that her teachers give her and just sort of help her with that or build out on that. So I say that to say I end up teaching what other teachers assign like we did, and we've done great things together. We just finished, we're doing whatchamacallit, Huckleberry Finn right now. We just finished The Old Man and the Sea. Y'all, if you haven't read The Old Man and the Sea in the Wild, whoa, I seriously can't speak. I'm so keyed up over my hatred. Like, have you ever hated somebody so much that you can't speak your native language? That's how much I hate Daisy Buchanan. If you haven't read The Old Man and the Sea in a while, do yourself a favor and read it again. It is fantastic. Anyway, we just finished that. We've done, what's the one with Piggy with the ASMR and the glasses? I know y'all are yelling it right now. I can see it. I can't think of it. Lord of the Flies. We did Lord of the Flies together. We've done some great things together, but I'm certain that we have not done The Great Gatsby together yet. I'm certain it's going to come up, and I'm going to have to cool my tits on my hatred of Daisy. She's going to hate Daisy Buchanan too, though, because that's my girl, and we hate people together. So we're both going to hate Daisy Buchanan together. Did I say that's good writing when an author can make you hate somebody like that? Like if they can make you love their characters or hate their characters, that's good writing right there. I mean, obviously it's good writing. It's F. Scott Fitzgerald. Anyway, let me calm down. The Great Gatsby. I wish, oh y'all, what I would not give to do it again for the first time. I know. Ninth House. This one I want to do again for totally different reasons. So, I mean, really kind of the same reasons. Ninth House, Leigh Bardugo. This might have been my first Leigh Bardugo. Leigh Bardugo spins a world in this book that is absolutely just, it is enthralling. It will suck you right in. And so Alex, I call her the wrong name all the time. I think it's Alex Stein. Nope, it's Alex Stern. I call her Alex Stein. It's Alex Stern. But it's Stein in my head, so I'm gonna say it wrong. So y'all just accept that. Ends up at Yale. I debate Yale and Harvard too. So Alex Stern ends up at Yale in Yale's ninth house, which is the ninth of its secret societies. And the ninth house is in charge of sort of policing the other 8 houses and making sure that they're not using spells and powers and things that they're not allowed to use, like blood magic and those kind of things. And that's all like interesting and intriguing and all that. But this is dark academia. Love that. But you get into some powers and some very scary, like dark magic things that are really kind of horrifying. And Leigh Bardugo sort of builds this story. She builds this understanding of life and Alex and all the things the way that they are. And then little by little, she gives you bits of information to plug into your understanding of it, to make you really understand, or to make you understand what really happened or what is really happening. And it's not what you thought it was. And it is brilliant. The way that she like builds it up and then breaks it down for you. It is so, so good. And once, I've read it a couple times now. I read it, so Hellbound, the one with like the weird rabbit rat thing on the cover, came out. And so I reread this to read that. So I read this again in between waiting for that one to come out. And then I read it again when that one came out. So I've read it full reads 3 times. And it's fantastic every time, but there's nothing like that first time when you get those like pieces that you didn't expect and you're like, wait, what? Like there are some that are so much that you have to go back and reread what you just read and then dig back to find what you thought you knew. And you go, no, that's right. That's how it was presented here. But now I'm learning this. Wait, what? It's acceptable, but they all work together. Like there's nothing, none of the breadcrumbs are wrong. Like it all works, it's all logic, it all fits together logically. It is fantastic. And I wish I could do it again for the first time. Ninth house. Where the Crawdads sing, y'all. This, you know what? I don't know that I've ever taken the cover off of this book to look at. I'm stalling because this book is just so, oh Lord, look how, that's disappointing. Oh, but it does have a little like dragon, y'all can't see it. It's an impressed dragonfly on it. So, Where the Crawdads Sing is about this little marsh girl named Kaya, who we meet when she's a little girl. And she's living on the edges of the marshes in like North Carolina or somewhere with her just dirt poor family. Her good for nothing daddy, because mama left, because daddy is good for nothing. Well, mama leaves like in the first few pages. And it is like the term coming of age exists for a reason. And this book is one of the reasons it exists, because it is a coming of age story about Kaya. And y'all, it is brilliant the way that Delia Owens, it's not even juxtaposed, but interweaves Kaya's growing up and her life into the natural surrounding that she grows up in. Because we watch her grow up in this just harsh, beautiful, absolutely beautiful, but just harsh, awful, natural setting of the marsh, and the awful things that we see, not awful, but harsh things that we see happen in the marsh are very much like the harsh things that we see happen in her life, like the things that she has to survive and the things that she has to do to survive at times are hard to watch. And like watching her get into situations where she has to do these things, just heartbreaking. But it is beautiful, and the descriptions of the natural setting that she's in, y'all, I hesitate to use the word spellbinding because it is so cheesy, but it will just enthrall you. You will just be spellbound. Like, you won't be able to stop. We might have talked about this. I might have reread. I was going to say we haven't read this together. We might have talked about it, because I remember telling the story. I'm sitting on my floor facing the couch right now. There's a felon over there sitting on the couch. But I was sitting on the couch when I got to a very sad part in this book. And y'all, I was bawling so badly that the intern came in and thought that something bad had happened to somebody in real life. Like, he thought my mom had died or something. I was so despondent over this book, but it is fantastic. And I keep saying that we should read it together, and maybe we will, but y'all, it's a lot. Like, it is beautiful and I recommend it, but it is a lot. And I wish I could do it again for the first time, but I don't know that I want to do it again right now. But if I could do it again for the first time, I would do it in a heartbeat. So, Where the Crawdads Sing. And on that note, let's talk about Kristen Hannah. Y'all have heard me talk about getting Kristen Hannah'd, which is when you read something that's so sad that it changes you at a molecular level. Like, you are no longer, after you read it, you're no longer the same person that you were before you read it. That is The Great Alone. That is this book for me. I got Kristen Hannah'd by this book. This was my first Kristen Hannah book. And it is about a family, a young couple and their daughter, who end up moving to Alaska. The daddy went to Vietnam, was a POW. I mean, there's nothing to say. I mean, I was going to say had a hard time, but y'all, like, there's literally nothing to say about that. But went to Vietnam, came back, had PTSD, of course. But back at, they didn't know anything about that back then. So, it was the 70s. So, you just sort of sucked it up and went on. So he came home to his family very damaged from the things that had happened to him in Vietnam. And he was abusive, and, he didn't know what to do. His wife didn't know what to do. So they decided to take, I think it's Lenny is the daughter's name, their little girl. Yeah. The couple and Lenny, the dad gets and I won't go, this is part of the story, but he ends up with some land in Alaska and decides they're going to go to Alaska and homestead. So they were from the Pacific Northwest or something. And so he decides to take the family and head to Alaska and make a life up there. And so this is another one of those that is, the setting is beautiful. We watch them, the nature in The Great Alone is as much a part of the story as the people are. It is as much a character as the people are. It is absolutely beautiful. And y'all, it's Alaska. So it's beautiful and it is deadly. And you know, they learned that when you go there, if you don't know how to survive, you die. So they learn how to survive, and they meet the people in the town, and they become part of the community, and they learn to survive in Alaska. And again, don't want to say too much, but again, like I said, I use the term Kristen Hannahing because of this book, and Kristen Hannah has this way of, she writes settings and builds worlds. I mean, her world building, like it is our world. It's not mystic, it's nothing. I mean, it's just our world, but she creates these worlds and sucks you in, and you fall in love with her characters to the point that when something bad happens to them, y'all, it breaks your heart so badly that it changes your molecules. Like, it changes who you are. After it happens, you're not the same person anymore, and then you have been Kristen Hannah'd. So this book Kristen Hannah'd me so bad. Y'all have heard the story before, but I was laying in the bed reading one night, and the Kristen Hannahing happened, like it happens out of the blue. Like, you don't see it coming. It just comes up and kicks you right in the teeth. It happened out of the blue, and I was so devastated. I'm laying in the bed reading. The intern is, you can't see, but his office, which is his man cave, is right there. He's in there like killing bad guys or something. And like, I was so upset. I had to, like, I couldn't stay in the bed. I had to get up out of the bed and walk it off. So I'm walking, just like pacing around the house, just completely Kristen Hannah, just mummified. I'm a zombie stumbling around, scared the intern to dang death. He jumped up. Like, I'm surprised he didn't like come out armed. And he's like, what are you doing? Like, you went to bed 3 hours ago. Anyway, yeah. Like, I wish I could read. I can't read this book again. I don't think I will ever read this book again, but I wish that I didn't know about this book, what I know about this book, so that I could experience it again for the first time, because there will not be a second time for me, but it is absolutely beautiful, and I recommend it. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I absolutely recommend it 100%. And with that, let's get into some dragons. This is another one of those that I have. Like, I don't have a relationship with this one like I do with the Christina Lauren one. So everybody knows Fourth Wing, right? This is the dragon, like the school of like fighting on the dragons, war school with dragons. Here's the issue with this book. There are now 3 of them. I've read 2. I've got the 3rd one upstairs. I don't know if I'm ready for it yet, because let me tell you what happens. Something happens in this book. And I mean, of course, y'all, our friends are these like young, studly, buff people. We go to war college with them. They fight by flying about on dragons. Raise your hand if you think that nothing bad is going to happen. Put your dang hand down. So, I don't know if I'm going to get through this one, and we're not even to Beartown yet. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, we go through war college with these kids, get through school. Something happens in this book that is devastating. You make it through that. You get through the book. You're like, okay, all right, I'm all good. The next book revisits the heartbreak from this book in a way that I never expected. It's not like, oh, you know, remember when this happened to so-and-so or such and such happened, or it is ingenious the way that Rebecca Yarros brings back the devastation that we feel in this book, in book 2, in Iron Flame. I remembered the name, y'all. I never remember the name. I remember the name. That wasn't even an edit. I swear to goodness, that wasn't even an edit. I actually like remembered the name through my heartbreak. So dramatic. But yeah, I wish I could start Dragon School all over again with these kids, because the things, like, they are innocent. I mean, they're not innocent like, you know, one family hates the other family because the other family killed the whole other family's, like, mom and dad and aunts and uncles, and, like, slaughtered everybody. But there's a naive, that's what they are. They're not innocent, they're naive. There's a naivete when you start this book that you lose, not very quickly, but you lose it gradually throughout this book. I wish I could go back and reread this book with those eyes. I don't wish, I do. I wish I could reread the whole, I wish I could redo the whole thing, but we are where we are, and it's time for book 3. And I'm going to say Beartown. I'm going to say Beartown. Let's talk about one other thing before we get to Beartown, and that is this. So I know I said 10 books, and I meant 10 books, but so that's 9 books. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. No, that's 8 books. What? 8 books. Book number 9 is books by, I'm going to take this off. Books by authors that I want to be friends with, like that I want to sit around and drink wine with. So I wish I could reread my first book by all of these authors. And it's not necessarily that I want to re-experience those books for the first time, which I do, but all of these books I can like reread, most of them. I can reread because there's not like a Kristen Higgins or a, we're not going to talk about what happens in this book, but a fourth winging that happens that, or a freaking Daisy Buchananing that happens in these books. But it's just that realization that you found an author that you jive with, like that. And that's what I mean by like, I want to hang out with them and drink wine, which I kind of do, but I'm excited that now I know that there's this whole additional world of like characters and people out there for me to explore. And let's go through these. Abby Jimenez. Abby Jimenez books have fantastic, rich characters. Her banter is awesome. And I'm not going to go through, like, get into detail on all the books. I just want to talk about the authors for a second and then move on, because we ain't going to stay here all day. I got to go teach a class. So Abby Jimenez, characters are great. I think, is she the one from Minnesota? One of them is from Minnesota. I think she is the one from Minnesota. Her books always make me cry. And it's always, like, it's generally not expected. And I think, like, she does the, not necessarily fake dating trope, but like the characters meet, and that for some reason, like, these two, one lives in the city and one lives in the country. And yeah, they are, because I think she's in Minneapolis, or like Mankato. They're in, sorry, that just clicked that they are in Minnesota, because these are Minnesota places. Like, she's driving back to the cities and her car breaks down and she meets him or something, I think is this one. But so he's in the city, or he's in the country and she's in the city. So their lives just, they want to be part of each other's world, but they're just not. So they're always that kind of thing, but they're just charming. She loves that like small town trope, love that. And she writes it really well. So Abby Jimenez, Kristen Higgins. This was actually my first, I don't know that this was my first Abby Jimenez. This was my first Kristen Higgins book, Out of the Clear Blue Sky. Same thing. Her characters are very rich. It's usually, her main character is always female, and she's usually jilted, and she's very sassy, and she's mad, and she's generally got female friends around her that'll be mad with her, drink wine with her, come over and they'll talk bad about the man with her. But it's not like her books are not, you know how some books are like female centric and very anti-male? Her books don't have an anti-male energy to them. I mean, they're rom-coms, like they're definitely like chick lit, but they're not man-hating books. But like in this one, there's one man she's mad at. Like, she don't hate all men. She hates that one man. And I think there's a distinct difference there. Like, I mean, and you can like total like anti-male energy in your books. I don't like that. That bugs me. Like, I feel like it's cheap and it's easy and I don't like it. Or maybe I just don't like it. I don't know. But she doesn't do that. So she like focuses her male dislike on the one male that her female character dislikes, and she tears him up. So Kristen Higgins, she's fun, she's funny, she's got very rich characters, and y'all know I cannot do bad banter. Like books that do, like that tell you all of what happens instead of showing you, or tells you about interactions between people instead of showing you the interactions, I'm out, can't do it. So Kristen Higgins is a fantastic one. Catherine Center, very much the same way. Very rich characters. We're actually, I guess we just finished this. I had read this, and then I read it together with my book club, and we all loved it. And I was a little concerned that they weren't going to like it, because we had done this together. We did Project Hail Mary together, which was that was deep. And then we did this, which is straight up rom-com, but y'all, so good. The interaction between the characters is great. They're very, very witty. There are interesting interactions built in, and stuff that you don't see coming, like grabs you from straight out of the blue. So Kristen Center is a definite, I think definitely, yeah, this was a rom-com, but there's more to it than that. There are layers of characters and layers of sort of plot in her books. So love her. Love Allie Hazelwood. Allie Hazelwood is the one that does obviously the STEM rom-coms, but she loves the fake dating trope, like fake dating, like these two, I can't remember what exactly their fake thing was or why they were fake dating, but she loves the whole fake dating trope, but she also loves writing women in, I can't remember what her thing is, but I think she's a PhD or something. Allie Hazelwood is. So she understands the importance of showing young women in STEM fields. So her female characters are in STEM fields. Absolutely fantastic. Laugh out loud, funny, and then you cry. So yeah, I laughed, I cried. Emily Henry. I love every word of every book of hers that I've read, and they just keep getting better. So yeah, hers always start with there's always the jilting, like something's happened, some folks are broken up, and then like they have to pretend they're not broken up, or there's something about that or somebody breaks up and then it's like a male-female relationship and they can't be together. So you know they're going to be together. But Emily Henry, I could 100%. But now, mind you, all of these authors are probably young enough to be my much younger sister, but y'all leave that where it is. So that's my book number 9, is my pile of books of female authors that I wish I could hang out and drink wine with. And that brings us to Beartown. Yeah, don't judge my copy of Beartown, which has been many, many places. It's been in the bathtub. It has sat with me outside on snowy days. It has been many places. And oh, do I wish I could do it again. Oh, okay. We are not going to make it through this. I wish I could do it again. So Beartown is the first book in the Frederick Bachman trilogy. It's Beartown, Us Against You. I always get mixed up, Us Against You or Us Against Them. Us Against You, Us Against Them, either way. Book 2. And then book 3 is The Winners. Just absolutely fantastic. It's about a small town in Sweden called Beartown. That's the industry in the town is drying up, and so the town is dependent on its hockey team to make something of itself, or to make something of the town. And in much the same way that I wish I could go back to the beginning of Fourth Wing, to the naivete that I as a reader had with the characters at the beginning of Fourth Wing, I wish I could go back with my friends in Beartown to before all the things that happen that we go through together, and start the whole thing all over again. And not just because of how things, not just because of how things end up. I love this whole trilogy. I love, now that I can look back on it, I can say, and y'all, okay, let me just go ahead and say I'm overly emotional about this. I am completely outside of my head about Beartown. I am in love, 100% true blue in love with Benji Ovich, who is a completely fictitious character. I know this, but he is my secret pretend book boyfriend, and that's all there is to that. So now that we've established that, and that I am irrational about Beartown, I'm going to just talk about it. So looking back on it from like the end of the series, I can say that I am glad that I read it and I'm happy to have been through it. I would love to go back to the beginning and start it all over again with all the characters, the boys, the girls, the parents, everybody, the town being where they were when we started, with like everybody that we love. There are so many things that I want to say that I don't want to say, because if you haven't read Beartown, I would be devastated if I gave spoilers. But y'all, I mean, we progress. The boys, I want to say they're maybe 16 when we start. I think Benji might be 15, and he's like 22 at the end of the winters. So like, I mean, we see them through 7 years. A lot of things happen in a small town in 7 years. People die, babies are born, people leave, people come back. So I will say this, that I wish I could go back to the beginning before any of the friends that we have in Beartown died, before any of the things that happen, and go through it all again, because it is so worth it. And y'all, I 100% recommend Beartown to everyone. It is fantastic. It is absolutely devastating. You will cry. The intern has actually loaned these books out a few times. He hasn't read them, mind you, but he has loaned them out. I actually, one time we had loaned these books to a friend of ours, and which, like, I totally trusted her and knew that they would come back, but I was so outside my head at the thought of Benji being out of my house that I then just ordered a set of the paper, like the 3 paperbacks of, like a paperback of the 3 books, so that we now loan out the paperbacks. And I might go ahead and buy another set of the paperbacks in case somebody is borrowing like one of the sets. We have another set so that there's never any temptation to loan out my actual Beartown books. Because that's how crazy I am about Beartown, y'all, and that's how much I would absolutely love to go back to the beginning and reread Beartown again for the first time as like a first-time Beartown visitor. But alas and alack, that will not happen. And y'all, that's it. Those are my 10 books. Now that I got myself all worked up and crazy over Beartown. That's why I saved Beartown for the end, because I knew that this is how it was going to go. But y'all, that's it. Those are my 10 books that I would love to reread again for the first time. And I know y'all have some, so don't be sitting there looking at me like I'm the only crazy one. Let us know in the comments. What are you don't have to, you're welcome to do top 10. First of all, which of my books do you agree with? Which of them would you love to read again for the first time? And what are your books that you would love to experience again for the first time? Let us know in the comments. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it this far, all the way through this crazy, we are most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos over on Fit Danielle Eats the beginning of every week, with some book videos over here sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.